we want to walk back our black as fuck shit first, or do we want to stay in? Because this
Yeah, we got to do that early.
all right.
Yeah.
We should have started
We
with
should
that.
on that too. Yeah.
Kenya Bears, bro. I'm so sorry. The whole writing room of Black as Fuck. I apologize. This
You
is
saw what he got from Netflix?
I don't even
Like,
tell
as a content creator for Netflix, he got 100.
Kenya Barris. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like not even like the 100. The getting 100 is a real big salute as a creative.
That's like Netflix's salute though.
Yeah.
Like that's how Netflix gives away their salutes to
Yeah.
people.
To
It's like, nigga,
geniuses.
That's your hey, do what you want. 'Cause
So
that's
probably
like an Adam Sandler deal.
That's probably
You know
like
what I mean?
three shows, probably 3 shows worth of content, probably.
Probably.
So salute to you. But even outside of the deal, the innovativeness of the writing of Black as Fuck, the control, the patience, and the stick to itiveness of a vision, like seeing a vision through completely, and fully developing a thought. And I don't want to take credit for my perspective of how I received the show. I want to send a special shout out to my boy Jay New, who's becoming one of my favorite writers. Like, and he ain't even officially released nothing yet. He's just sort of kind of like, he reminds me a lot of you two in the fact that he's a thoughtful thinker and has something to say, but perhaps the climate doesn't lend to like just jumping out there right away and being a lot more meticulous about the release. So I appreciate that about both of you two and Jay New too. Your packaging, exactly. He mentions that all the time. But he brought up the point of like, nah, when you gonna say something, you have to go through the ringer and make sure that there are no holes in your presentation. And I don't subscribe to that at all, which I probably should, but I don't. But in the grand scheme of Black as Fuck, we talked about it. We had our beefs with episodes 1 and not even really 2, because when I went back, I
I
was
was
like,
only on one at that time
just
when I
one.
jumped out there.
Yeah,
So my bad.
yeah. I'd only watched the first one and part of 2, but immediately 2 is dramatically better than 1, and 1 isn't that bad. I had to go back and watch 1 to make sure that I was tripping, and this was all my pre-bias and like being a product of consuming content in present day. Black as Fuck is brilliant, bro.
Yeah, when I sat down and just paid attention, actually watched, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a better chance because I didn't give it a real first chance, and I just felt fucked up about that. Then I was like, damn, I need to make sure when we get back on here, I better apologize.
Walk this back. Yeah, we all said it though. Like immediately, once I finished it, I hit y'all like, yeah, I fucked up.
But that's power. But that's power to him and a part of his movement too, and just being like being that type of creator. Where I mean, it's in the credits at the beginning or whatever. We're just talking about the being unapologetically yourself. You know what I mean? So eventually, folks will come around to it if they inspire to come around to it. You know what I mean? But hey, shout out to them because that's a great show. That's a great acting on everyone's part in that show as well. Great cameos that has something to say. Each one of them have a position on that particular show. So, hey, bro, is that the cousin or something like that? The brother from internet.
Yes. Yeah.
Bro, that would be killing me, man.
Bruh.
When he pitched that show to him, bro, that shit killed
But
me.
broke it down, and in the way Kenya was looking at him, like, that's actually a fire show.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm actually not mad at that. But then when he compares Joanna Man and Miss Doubtfire and like fucks him up, he's like, wait a minute. Like we only lift up Miss Doubtfire because it's white, and we give bruh from Joanna Man a hard time because it's black. Like that. It's a great the dialogue, the some of the scenarios, and then there is the hard part for me at least, the hard part of what he accomplished with that show was presenting the conversation in the sort of tension that could exist with that amount of success and still trying to balance saying something. Cause you can easily dismiss that shit as like, bro, you rich. Nobody want to hear your struggles, nigga. Like, fuck out of here. But that I think that visual of him and Tyler Perry engaging in that conversation, and Tyler Perry furthering his approach, and then in light of, we know what he's done with the studio and everything, but like, bro, like, come on, man, like we as a people, because of the subgenres of black, right? Like, we can't just throw a big blanket over and go, oh, black people gonna love this. That's not how we're built. That's not how any group of people is built, but specifically us.
Yeah, BT is not up there because of black people.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, black people hate BET, but like that's not the point. Like, it's not all the way up there because of black people. So like, it's, you know, people are attracted to the culture of black people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Naturally. So that's, you know, at least it takes some of that that creativity out of us. You know what I mean? Like, just keep milking us for that. So,
Yeah.
I really resonated. That episode really resonated.
Same.
From just like, because it always goes back to our people and everyone wanting to seek an acceptance, and
Thank you.
What does that entail for yourself? You know what I mean? Like, are you accepting yourself, or are you getting that from outside perspective? And usually it's from, you know, what who was that said the massa theory?
In the show?
No, not in the show. Somebody that said something about the are we always are? Oh, damn it, Killer Mike. Killer Mike talking about the like us wanting like the acceptance from massa, like which massa, you know, are we fighting to get more acceptance from most? You know what I mean? So that's kind of what that theory was. What Tyler Perry was talking about.
Yep.
But he was able to build a studio. He was able to have this whole line, you know, get the plays, get all that stuff, without receiving, you know, any of that acknowledgement that everybody is so, you know, fighting over and losing pieces of themselves in order to
every step of the way, and never accomplishing what you're setting out to, and
then when you do, it doesn't move the needle for you like you thought it would.
Like you thought, man, that's it. And so it's like the Tyler Perry is the face of why serving, even if it's just your niche, like, and we've seen it over and over again, where you think about the deals that Baby was able to get, that Master P was able to get. Like, don't undervalue what your community can do for you, like serving them people directly right there to you. Start there first. Can you master that market? If you can master that market, fuck, we'll bet on you to master the rest of the market, because you didn't figure out your demo right outside your door every day. You know, and not if you continue to overlook that, you'll constantly your efforts will constantly be undermined. And I thought that was such a brilliant conversation to have in terms of what niche. Oh, it's niche. You know, no black film is gonna do this. Is gonna open at this weekend. Bullshit. Just off the sheer numbers, and we've seen it time and time again. What your Moonlights were able to do. What your in terms of budget and what the support that they get from the machine. People hate those Tyler Perry movies allegedly. That don't seem to be the case, because every time they open to crazy numbers, because that niche market that you keep saying doesn't have any value was going to go see that and support, and the numbers come out crazy, and he's always in the black.
Bro, why do you think Get Out was so large?
Man,
like, it was giving people perspective on like what black people go through. Whether they're going to give a shit about changing anything about themselves or not, that wasn't the point. It was that they were intrigued by somebody shining a light on what black people have to go through.
facts.
And it was brought to like the forefront for me because I went to the classical viewing of Get Out, and to know that in that theater in the city, they filled up that symphony with, bro, I was probably one of, I could probably count them in a room, 8 black people maybe.
Jesus.
That was in that room. The rest was multicolor inside of that room, mostly white. And for them to, and it was kind of eerie on my part of watching this film with the music, and me being as into it as I was, and being like actually connecting with the script of it and actually connecting with everything that was on the screen, and them watching it and watching it as if it was entertainment. You know what I mean? Like that part kind of tripped me up. But that's what made it so large. That's the reason why it was in a venue like that, being viewed that way. You know what I mean? Like it was just trippy to watch and
Yeah.
feel. I felt kind of weird in that moment, but it was just like, damn, that's how big it is. But that's how people are viewing us. They're viewing us as a like an entertainment entity like that, bro. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's what Black as Fuck does is have that highlight that conversation and offer some more developed perspective from people on the inside, because so often your thinkers and people who operate in a political realm or a social economical realm could come and try to tell the Beyoncés, the Hove, the Kenyas, the Tyler Perrys what they should be doing with their success and their fame and their wealth, and you're just like, and then because their voice is louder and more consistent, you can see them starting to weigh on the black public. Like, yeah, man, you know what? They should do more. They should do this. They did. And it's like, nah, let me have this conversation from the inside out and offer you perspective and paint the picture in totality. And then and only then can you say something. But you can't really say nothing if you're not operating on the inside. And I think that was such a beautiful thing to do, especially with the dynamics of the generation of the kids. The two older girls are going to be like, yeah, man, shit wasn't always like this. And the younger generations of the kids within their family, the other siblings, they've only known wealth. They've only known wealth, and the other kids, and it's a lot. It's an interesting story when you think about Jay Prince, like his kids, for example. Prince Jr. He remembers that shit. He remembers how the struggle to come up, but the rest of the kids don't really have the luxury of that duality, if you can call that a luxury per se, you know. So salute again Kenya and everybody on the staff. I thought the episode with Lena, Issa, Will Packer, and all them I thought that conversation was great. Just because, again, the subgenres of black and everybody, bro, we have different journeys, different paths, and a semi common goal, but sometimes the goal ain't even common, you know. But what they do share is an a want for the quality of black stories to evolve and expand, and in that you're gonna have some. This is the conversation I was trying to have about Lena and Queen and Slim, and one of the homies just wasn't trying to hear it at all. If we're talking about in a space where all stories are kind of welcome from a white perspective, any spectrum of story is welcome. I think when you see the variety of the story that Lena tells, from The Shy, from A Queen and Slim, from the episodes that she wrote on Master of None, the new sneaker show that she's doing on Quigley, like, it's just I'm all of these things. I want to be able to tell all of them. I don't want to just have, you only got to, if you're John Singleton, you only got to do Boys in the Hood every time. You got to figure out how to recreate Boys in the Hood. So you got to do a Baby Boy, and then you got to do a Snow. Like, damn, like I want to tell a lot of stories that represented a wider spectrum of the things that we're into, the things that moved us, the culture that we move, and that's what I aspire to do. So I thought it was all fascinating, man. But that episode in particular stood out to me.
Oh, definitely. That's a thin line too that we kind of walk amongst each other, because there is so many, like, it's so few that make it into these rooms. So it's hard to keep it, in a way, it kind of feels like it's hard to keep it real in those rooms, due to the fact that you don't want to down another person of color when you as a person of color understand the
how hard
route
it was
that
to
you
get
have
here.
to take.
Yeah.
So that was a cool way to
Was the best part.
to be on that topic, and not make it come across as like being a hater in any type of way, but more so, all right, the next level of us moving to has to surround ourselves around being the best content creators as we can, as opposed to being a black content creator or being whatever color content creator.
But there is a delicateness in which saying that publicly in front of the others could cause some issues, some unnecessary issues.
Oh, completely.
Yeah,
Completely.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why that particular moment was great, because it was only them on that screen.
Damn.
You know what I mean? You can't say that in the public. That's the reason why Lena walked her whole thing back. It was like, bro, there's too many people in here for me to be downing another person of color, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough of you that do that already. So that's not where we're gonna do it at. But amongst ourselves, we have to be realer with each other and not take that part as personal as you would in those rooms where other people are viewing you. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, great show. That was all. All those things were connecting. So